Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share some of the most interesting tattoo stories from my tattoo career. I'm a professional tattoo artist, been tattooing for around 11 years. I have a pretty decent collection of random things that happened throughout those years. I met hundreds of people that came to me to get tattooed. Some of the stories are pretty wild. Yeah, stick around and I'm sure that you'll find at least some of them entertaining. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive in. Number one, the first one would be about 6 years ago. I worked in Belgium, and at the studio where I was, there was quite a few people coming in as walk-ins, and they were just getting random stuff done. I was one of the tattoo artists that was doing walk-in tattoos, and I was told to do this. So someone wanted, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's basically when you buy yourself a product, some sort of thing that's packaged. Sometimes you need scissors to open it, and there's a little line and scissors next to it. Put it somewhere here so we know exactly what I'm talking about. So someone came in with that, and we were like, can you do this on my leg? I was like, yeah, sure. Do you mind me asking why would you want that? And the person told me that they have some condition, some medical condition with their foot, and even though it's fully functioning, for some reason they're gonna have to medically remove it within a month or two. So as a joke, he wanted me to tattoo that design around his leg, just below the knee, where his leg is going to be removed. And he said that it's probably gonna be a very funny day for the surgeon doing it. I didn't know if it was appropriate to laugh, but the guy definitely had a good sense of humor. I ended up doing that tattoo. Unfortunately, I don't have any photos of it, but it's definitely one of the stories that I can remember from my months in Belgium. Story number two would be one of the customers traveled from very far. If I remember correctly, he traveled about 4 or 5 hours to get to me. He found me online on Instagram and he really liked my work and he wanted to get a tattoo. We were supposed to be doing a day sitting, which is normally between 6 to 8 hours depending on a tattoo. We started with his upper arm and we did first 5 or 7 minutes, and suddenly he asked me to stop tattooing, and I asked him, is he okay? Maybe he feels a bit dizzy, maybe he wants some water. And he said, no, he feels fine. He just can't bear the pain. He said, the pain is way too much. And I was a bit surprised because the person already had a lot of tattoos. He was covered in tattoos, but he was in his mid-40s, maybe early 50s. He later on said to me that he just doesn't feel as excited to get tattooed and it's nothing to do with this design. He just got reminded of the pain that he haven't felt in years, and he just said he does not want to go for this at all. The whole piece, if I remember correctly, was supposed to be full arm, and it needed at least 4 or 5 day sittings. We done 5 minutes of the first session. I tried to talk him into it. I tried to hype him up to carry on, but the person kept insisting me that it's not my fault and that it's just him, and he really can't be bothered to go with this pain. I recommended him some numbing cream for the next time, but he said he probably is not gonna use it and he just doesn't want to get tattooed, and he said it's fine to leave it as it is. Bear in mind, in the amount of time that we've been tattooing, we didn't do anything for the design to be understandable at all. So for what I remember, it was just like it looked like a random scribble. Yeah, we had to leave it at that. I didn't want to charge him because I felt bad about it, but he was very nice, like I said, and he insisted to pay for a whole day, even though we didn't do even an hour of tattooing. I tried to refuse the money, but he still transferred it to me. and that happened 5 or 6 years ago, and I never seen him since. In this situation, I had two customers, a couple, that came to us to get a matching tattoo. My colleague was available at the time, and I asked if she would be willing to tattoo that person at the same time, because they said we would prefer to get that tattoo together at the same time, sitting next to each other. So we stenciled the designs, and it was both of our first tattoos. And when it came to the time of tattooing, they seemed to be a bit nervous, but I kept asking them if they're okay, if they're ready, if they're sure if they want to do it. Yeah, they both seemed to be nervous but excited to get it done. So as soon as we started tattooing, I was tattooing a guy, and I realized that he started feeling a bit wavy and looking a bit pale. I instantly put down my machine. I was ready to catch him, and soon enough, like a few seconds later, he completely passed out and fell on me, and I had to catch him like this. But as soon as I turned around, I noticed that his girlfriend, seeing what happened, from fear, she also passed out at the same time and fell on my colleague's hands. So we were both holding them at the same time when we were completely gone for about a few seconds until they got back their consciousness. Yeah, so it was pretty funny. We laid them down in beds. We opened the windows, let in some fresh air, gave them something to drink, and we were all laughing out of that situation, and we ended up finishing the tattoos. They left very happy, and they left a funny story to remember. Number 4. So this one is a bit funny because it was an interesting design choice with something that I didn't want to question because it felt awkward. This girl came to me and asked me to tattoo this. I didn't ask too many questions, so I just did it. She was very happy with it, and that was it. I never seen her since. Number 5 is quite a bit sad. It's probably the saddest story that I have from my career. I had this customer. She was amazing. She was a very lovely girl, very friendly, very polite. She was getting a sleeve done by me, and we started. The whole process took about a year or two, if I remember correctly, and it needed around 5-day sessions to complete. It was very detailed geometrical piece, and we were doing it in a few months in between. We did around 3 or 4 day sessions, and just before the last one, I received a message from her telling me that she has terminal cancer, and unfortunately she doesn't have much time left, that she's currently on chemo, but she still wants to get that sleeve finished. It made me feel really sad, but I was more than happy to get her in short notice because of her condition. When she showed up at the studio, she looked very different. She couldn't even stand up from a wheelchair, and she looked very ill, so I knew that it was definitely not made up and it was serious. She was still very positive and very badass, even knowing the condition that she was in, and she insisted to basically not do many breaks and just take as long as it needs and finish her sleeve. Yeah, we ended up finishing that sleeve, and I felt really sad. I didn't know what to say because when we were talking, she made it clear that unfortunately there is no chance for her to survive. So at that point, I really needed to be careful with what I said. So I just tried to be positive and make the whole atmosphere at the studio nice, and not talk about serious things. When we finished the tattoo, I ended up not charging her because I just, I thought that was the right thing to do. And about a month later, unfortunately, I found on Facebook that unfortunately she's no longer with us. So when people ask me if I know if there's any people that passed away with the tattoos that I've done, I know that there's at least one, unfortunately, sad as it is. She was a great person. I will always remember her. She was one of the most badass people I ever met in my life too. The way she faced it and how strong mentally she was, it was very inspiring. If you made it this far and found any of these stories interesting and would like to see more content like this, please press the like button. I would highly appreciate it. If you have any questions about tattooing, anything that you would like me to make a video about, please comment down below. I'll be more than happy to create a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.